Joe Freihofer is live in the newsroom with the details on the coach's retirement and the legacy he leaves behind. Hi, Joe.
Yeah, Morgan, it came as a bit of a shock to everyone when D'Antonio announced his retirement after 13 seasons with the team. During that time, he brought the Spartans to the forefront of college football, being one of just 11 programs to ever reach the playoff. It all started November 26, 2006, when D'Antonio replaced John L. Smith and is named head coach at Michigan State. This night in 2010, it was a big one for D'Antonio, as I'm sure all you Spartan fans remember that 34-31 victory over Notre Dame with the go-ahead fake field goal touchdown pass from Kirk Cousins. Just hours later, D'Antonio suffered a heart attack. Many fans would say his best year was 2013 when they beat Stanford in the Rose Bowl, securing the program's first ever 13-win season. But things weren't always great in the end. In 2016, just a year removed from the playoff and exactly 10 years after he was hired, MSU had its worst year under D'Antonio, finishing 3-9 that season. And now D'Antonio announces his retirement, stepping down as head coach of the program. Focal Point was on the scene for his emotional press conference. 3:30, word got around. MSU was in for a big change. A 13-year era filled with 3 Big Ten championships, a Rose Bowl, and an appearance in the college football playoff came to an end. Mark D'Antonio took to Twitter to break the news with a letter to all Spartan faithful. Just 3 hours after the tweet, he made his way to the Breslin Center to say a few final words and a thank you to the program that shaped his career.
Yes. Today marks one of the most difficult decisions that I've ever made here at Michigan State. I think that my legacy, as defined by me, will not be about the wins and losses, although there's a lot of them. It'll be about the relationships I've made with my players.
Back in mid-November, after a 6-6 regular season finish, D'Antonio's outlook on the future was a little bit different.
There's been a lot of success here, a tremendous amount of success here. And that can happen again, and that can happen under my watch.
But for him, he said at times the enjoyment was no longer there.
The things that come across your desk, the overwhelming responsibility for people day in and day out, just feels sometimes like an avalanche. Someday there will be someone else here talking to you from this podium. That day has come.
That very podium stands inside the Breslin. Not long after he left it, fans started piling in for a basketball game. And as Brandon Rothenberg tells us, almost everyone who came to the game already knew the news.
The buzz you see inside the Breslin Center
coming up next in sports
didn't just involve basketball. Because a few hours earlier here, Mark D'Antonio announced he was stepping down as head football coach.
The things that come across your desk.
And even with this bombshell news, there was still a game to be played. In the midst of a difficult schedule, basketball wasn't the only thing fans had on their minds.
You couldn't be more happy that the career he had here. If he's happy and he wants to spend time with his family, I think that's all best for him.
He's turned the program around, and what he's done here is just, you can't even explain it into words. It's hard to.
He's the GOAT.
Babs Afolabi, a student from the United Kingdom, has realized how big the sports culture is on campus.
So I went to the games and we realized how hyped everyone was, and we were so shocked because we don't have that sports culture in our university.
From a fan across the ocean to Al Parker, who graduated Michigan State in 1968.
I think it's been the golden age of Michigan State football the last 13 years. Done a great job, and I'm just really sorry to see him leave.
Head football coach Mark D'Antonio stepping down not only had a huge impact on the Spartan faithful here in East Lansing, but also to one of his longtime pals and fellow coaches, Tom Izzo.
He looked like the weight of the world off his shoulders already, and for that I'm excited for him, happy for him.
It was a night with both coaches fully supporting one another.
So thank you so much. I'll be a Spartan forever. Go Green, beat Penn State.
At the Breslin Center, Brandon Rothenberg, Focal Point News.
The hunt is now on for MSU football and finding a new head coach. Luke Fickell from Cincinnati emerged as the front runner after going 11-3 this past season with the Bearcats. I'll be back later with highlights from this week in sports, but for now, Morgan, Katie, back to you guys. Welcome back to Focal Point. I'm Joe Freihofer. After falling to Wisconsin and Madison by just 1 point last time out, Tom Izzo and company hit the hardwood against the Nittany Lions Tuesday night. D'Antonio and Izzo were chatting it up before the tip. Izzo will, of course, miss watching his friend patrol the sidelines of Spartan Stadium. After Michigan State got out to a big lead, the Nittany Lions took charge. Here's Myron Jones, who knocks down a big triple to put Penn State up by 10. He had a great game, finishing with 20 points in this one. After some back-and-forth action, Winston to the cup, goes for two. He draws the foul. Michigan State down 71-70. No one they'd rather have at the charity stripe than Winston. He locks and loads, back iron, and misses the free throw. Winston can't believe it. Spartan fans can't believe it. But they walked off the floor with another Big Ten loss.
You know, it's a crucial time in the season, crucial stretch we're gonna have. So, you know, to win championships, you fight through moments like this.
The team now gets ready for a big game against rival Michigan on Saturday at Chrysler Arena. Tip-off time is noon on Fox. The women's basketball team played on Monday at Maryland and suffered a big loss, 94-53. The men's hockey team had a week off, but this weekend they go to Minnesota for a crucial two-game set in the race for the Big Ten title. It's been 12 days since the sporting world lost Kobe Bryant, along with his daughter Gianna and 7 others in a helicopter crash. His impact was felt all over the world, including right here on campus. Focal Point's Ian Gilmore shows us how some students paid tribute.
On a night when the sports world seemed to stand still, so does Noah Andriani.
It's crazy.
It still hasn't settled in.
A big thing that I thought about today was like life just isn't fair. Like that he doesn't deserve this. Does not deserve this.
NBA superstar Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 other passengers died in a helicopter crash.
Because it's Kobe, you know, he can't. You know, you got that picture of him. He's like, he can't die, you know.
I mean, right when I found out, I thought it was just a rumor, kind of like, you know, a publicity stunt, just a headline.
These MSU students came to pay their respects.
I gathered all these guys and I said, no, let's just do it.
In the only way they knew they could.
Directly after, like literally as soon as we got done, somebody rolled up right behind us and they came and took a picture with it. So that was kind of cool.
Personally, he's a hero of mine. Just the Mamba mentality, having that mentality and you know, going hard as you can, giving everything you have. It's so important, not only with sports, but with your schoolwork, with anything that you put your mind to. Having that mentality, it's another level.
But Kobe's influence spread beyond just the sport he played.
Kind of like, you know, just remembering him, like who he was as a person beyond basketball.
He showed loyalty, determination. His whole story, how he came up, is, you know, it's bigger than basketball.
His voice has gone silent now.
You know, I think people just kind of really, they realize that, you know, you can only appreciate something so much until it's gone.
But his legacy will be carried on by his fans all over the world.
Steadfast, inspirational,
magnificent, loyalty, hard worker.
Kobe Bryant, when you have nothing left, you still give more.
In East Lansing, I'm Ian Gilmore, Focal Point News.
Kobe has been honored with 24 seconds of silence at athletic venues around the world, including at the Breslin Center at both men's and women's basketball games. That's what's happening in sports this week. I'm Joe Freihofer.